What's up, y'all? It's Mark with Tub Talk Reviews, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than normal. We're going to be looking at a pool heat pump. This is the Varminpool heat pump. This is the 40,000 unit. This is for a 13,000. Yeah, did I say that right? That seems like a lot. 1,300? No, 13,000. This is for a 13,000 gallon pool. So my parents have this large canopy over their pool, and one thing I've complained about for years since they got it is that it just doesn't get enough direct sunlight for it to really heat up. And especially when it comes to those earlier or later months in the summer, like their pool just cools down really fast. So we're really excited to get this pool heat pump to extend the season for their pool. Quick disclaimer, we did get this item for free to try it out and test it, but with that said, we're going to keep our review honest, and we're going to tell you our real thoughts on if this worked and if we think this might be a good choice for you. Another disclaimer is the link below is an affiliate link. If you click on it, we do earn a commission, but with that said, we're keeping this review as honest as possible. Just because we're earning commissions and just because we were sent this item for free does not mean that I'm not giving you my true thoughts on this product. And I'm just going to, lay it out there from the very beginning. I really don't have much negative to say about this product. I've never looked at a pool heater before. I have nothing to compare it to, but my experience is really positive. It was really good. Let's just dive into that and I'll explain my thoughts behind it. My only negative, and I say this later in the video, is that pools are expensive. Pool heaters are expensive. And whether you go with this product or a different one, you're looking at investing, a decent amount of money into warming up your pool. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to focus more on the performance of the unit in this review, just because the setup was done. We had an electrician do the electrician work, and then my dad did the setup with his pump. It's his pool, but really what we're looking at in this review is the performance of how the pool heater is going to do, with a brief synopsis of how the setup goes. First things first, this thing is really heavy. When it arrived at my parents' house, we had to get a skid steer to bring it to the back. Now granted, my parents' pool is down a hill, you're kind of far away from the front, but you don't necessarily have to get a skid steer to bring it to your pool, but you will definitely need, two people to carry this back behind your pool. Now guys, this thing's a beast. I was really impressed by the design. It looks really sleek, it looks really nice. It had a nice control panel. It's just a good overall design. Now, after the unboxing, really, we couldn't do much to set this up ourselves, at least as far as the electric work goes. So we actually had an electrician come in and get that all set up. I would recommend that you do that as well, so you can then use this pump properly and making sure that you do not ruin your house or the rest of your pool, whatever. I'm not an electrician. I don't know these things. All I know is that it was done and it was done right. So I'd recommend that you do the same. So the setup is relatively simple. After you got that electrical work done, you are going to want to find a nice level place to put this. You just need to hook the heater up to your pump, make sure that it gets connected to the pool, and let me show you how we're going to do that. You're going to need some 1.5 inch flexible tubing, as well as some PVC pipe type glue. As far as tools, you're going to need something like a pipe wrench and or a large pair of pliers to be able to get this thing on. So you're going to need that tubing. It's going to connect to the inbound as well as to the outbound, so water coming in, water coming out. All right, so you're going to take your glue, you're going to put it on the end of your pipe, and then you're going to attach your nozzle, your plastic piece, your part that's going to screw into the pump. And you're going to take that and you're going to attach it to the water outlet. You're going to want to make sure that your O-ring is in. You're going to make sure that you push it up flat, that you seal it up nice, and that's when you're going to start screwing it on. And then you're going to repeat that process for the water inbound. So our pool is a saltwater pool, so we have to run the salt water and the heater at 2 different times. So we have a switch that allows us to do that. So we're not overpowering the electricity, basically. I'm not an electrician. I can't explain all this well, but there's a switch. When I want to use the heater, I turn on the switch. So another nice thing about the setup for this is once you get it going, you can use the device itself to set the temperature, or there's actually an app that connects to your phone that allows you to set the temperature, allows you to schedule when the pool's going to be heating, when it's going to not. A lot of times with apps like this, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi. Sometimes your Wi-Fi can be far away from your unit, maybe it doesn't reach it. For this one, it actually reaches pretty good. Functionality is great. You can easily set the temperature. So there's a blinking dot on the device that indicates that the pool is in fact heating. So that's how you know that is going once you have set your temperature. For us, we set our temperature to 82 degrees. The pool temperature started off at 72 degrees. So we want to see how long is it going to take to heat up. From your pump, you're going to have the water that goes into the inlet, and that is where the water is going to be warmed, is inside of the pool heater. And then it's going to pump that water out through the outbound pipe, and from there it'll go into your pool, and it'll just keep going in and out until your pool is nice and heated. Now, how long is that going to take? Let's find out. The weather outside was actually pretty cool. I think most nights it was getting down into the 70s or 60s. I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect. I had my guess going into this, and I thought, okay, this is probably going to take a week to heat up. Well, we were pleasantly surprised. It took just under a week to go from 72 all the way up to 82. So it did about, on average, it was doing about 1.5 degrees every single day. And when we got in, it felt really nice, it felt really good, and it maintained that temperature really well. As far as the electrical bill difference, it's hard to say for this review, because it was around the same time that we kicked on our heaters, because it started cooling off at night, so we started running the heaters at night. You could expect to see the difference between $100 to $150 in your electric bill by heating up your pool. After it was all said and done, we were able to get out and get in the pool in a time of year where we haven't been able to get in the pool in the past. So this was actually really nice to be able to get in with our family, go swimming, jump in, enjoy it. It's because we had this pool heater that we're able to do that. It increases the longevity of our pool season. And even more importantly, for my parents, where their pool is just often in the shade, sometimes even in the middle of summer, it's too cold to get in their pool, at least for me. So to be able to heat up their pool just a little bit more, so it's just more enjoyable, that's top notch. This heater is rated for a 13,000 gallon pool. We're at a 15,000 gallon pool, and it did a really good job. So keep that in mind. It's working on a pool that it is actually not even rated for, and it's doing a fantastic job. So this 40,000 BTU heat pump by Varmin, it's for a 13,000 gallon pool. Right now, at the time that I'm looking at it, it's priced around $1,700. That is a great price for a pump of this size. So in the research that I've done, this seems to be very much in line, if not under, a lot of what the competitors are asking for. And the fact that it's only increasing our electric bill by anywhere between $75 and $150 a month, and the fact that it's able to heat such a big pool, this seems to be a really, really good price. I'm very happy with it. We've been very happy with our experience for the price point and what we're paying. And there is the additional price point of you're gonna have to pay an electrician to come out and do the electric work, and then if you want to have a plumber do the pool work, that's an additional cost as well. So you might be looking at $500 to $1,000 to get this thing installed. But if you're able to do the plumbing work yourself, I'm going to leave that up to you. So overall, these things, they're an additional expense. Pools are already expensive. Installing a pool heater is going to cost even more money. You got to buy the pool heater. You got to do the maintenance work on, not the maintenance work, but the installation work, and then you got to worry about your electric bill going up, and that's just part of it. That's part of having a pool. That's part of having a pool heater. And with all that said, that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check the links down below. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good one.